Hello and welcome to the Sunbirdcrochet podcast. My name is Claudia and I'm coming to you from Germany. So welcome to my podcast. This is a crochet and knitting podcast. But before we go on to that, let's talk about what you've just seen. I've been out and about yesterday and we went to a little cafe which is run by former convicts, or not run, but they are working there to get a chance to get back into life and society, and it's a very well, it's a popular cafe, and it all started as a gardening center and gardening services, but the cafe, which they had on top of everything else, was such a success that they are now mainly running it as a cafe. And there's also little things you can buy, like fashion and jewelry and birthday cards, interior things, yeah, stuff like that. So we went there yesterday, and autumn here is really knocking at our door by now, like Victor Frankenstein at his castle. So we drove there, and on the way we saw the maize harvest, and it's just like getting colder, unfortunately also wetter. And when I'm looking outside right now, it's also foggy. So perfect for all those cozy, feel-good movies, or the movies which you know since childhood and which are giving you the homely vibes, like Treasure Island, it does for me, and Miss Marple and Sherlock Holmes. And if you are German, then you know what I'm talking about when I say das Wirtshaus im Spessart.
Drum, ihr Leut, nehmt euch in Acht, weil in die Nacht der Räuber wacht.
Yes, so it's that time of the year. We went there. I had a gooseberry cake, gooseberry and cream, and on top a layer of that egg white and sugar baked busy, and it was divine. By the way, if you've got a favorite cake recipe, then please let me know down below. Share your secrets, please. Because autumn is also the baking season, right? Unfortunately, it's also the cold season. You might hear that I'm even more nosy, like, yeah, whatever. I've shown you a little bit of the drive there and back and the cake. And they also have a little pond with koi carps, carp fishes, and yeah, it was just very soothing to watch them float through the water. I think they expected me to feed them, but I had nothing for them. So yeah, disappointment is part of life. Right, let's go to the crochet and knitting content. I've got for you one work in progress. And no knitting, just plans and crochet plans, lots of yarn from stash, and a few incoming things. So let's start right away with my crochet project. For my crochet project, which is a blanket, I'm going to show you in a moment, I'm using cotton yarn. I've ordered some cotton yarn from Hobby. It's the Rainbow 8/4 quality, 100% cotton. And also from the Danish company Søstrene Green. Like these, with the Gibson Girl logo. It's a Danish company. And we have got lovely colors like this one here. You can't really see. Oh, that's better. So colors like these. It's a very muted palette in all these kinds of colors. Brownish, dark, moody, you might say, with one aggressor in it, like a peacock blue. And a bit of that aggression as well, but that's not really working out too well. So I'm not going to continue using this pale yellow. I don't think. Maybe for the outside border. But let me show you what I've done so far. This is the Victoria Throw pattern, a crochet pattern by Jen Tyler from South Africa. She is the Floral Hook on Instagram. And each weekend she's giving out promo codes, and I've bought this pattern for half the price. This weekend she has her True North pattern for free. You just have to get the code from her, which is True North, I think, all capital letters. But go and check out on her Instagram page, the Floral Hook. Yeah, so she regularly gives us codes and reduced prices and freebies. And I just love her designs. They are looking very busy and advanced crochet level, but really I think that if you are a beginner even, I mean, she's giving us video tutorials. You have to be a little bit patient because she likes to chat. She's a chatty person, but she's really giving you all the details you need to know with her videos. So without further ado, let me show you my current work in progress. So there you go. This is the Victoria Throw. I really love a flower in the center. And as I said, not so sure about the pale yellow, but it might be okay in the center. It's supposed to look like flowers. And then yesterday I've made a Celtic weave part here, which is really nice. And now I've gone on to caramel color. Not sure how that will work out. I might regret my color choices Also, usually you're doing it with acrylic yarn or something less heavy than this, but I just loved the drape of cotton yarn, and so I'm doing it in cotton. Might regret that as well. At the moment I'm here making these 8 double trebles together with a chain 12 in between, and then no doubt in the next round I will somehow fix that. Yeah, so every round is a new adventure, and I just love that about it, about her designs. I don't know. That might be a good thumbnail. I'm using a 4mm hook for this. And I've finished part 1. And now I'm on part 2. I think it's something like 60 rows only in part 1. I might be lying. I don't have it printed out. I'm using the digital pattern on my phone together with the video tutorials. You're learning so many stitches and ways where to crochet into, and I mean, independent rounds. There are independent rounds like these flowers. You do these parts individually, and then in the next round you're picking them up again and you're fixing them. And then here these are independent rounds as well, the little bubbles. And here that dark V, you might not be able to see that, but that's independent as well. And then you get these front post, back post, Celtic cables here, and front post stitches together. It's just so much fun. So highly recommend, thumbs up. I love Jen's patterns. Yeah, so that's pretty much all I've been working on. But needless to say, I've got many plans. These days I'm waiting for the mystery knit-alongs and crochet-alongs and all these alongs, the first clues to finally drop at the beginning of October, which is just around the corner. I can't wait to start the Christmas crochet along, the blanket which with all the little parcels inside and with the bows from Black Sheep Wool, and obviously the MCAL, the knit along by Stephen West, this year's mystery shawl design. That's going to happen next week as well. And today, if I manage to upload this quick enough, then I can, and you're watching it today on the day of the upload, then I can tell you that tonight at 6 p.m. German time, which is 5 p.m. UK time and 12 p.m. EST, Martin from the Welsh Tanner on Instagram and Knit365 blog here on YouTube, together with Irina from Fiber Chats, they are going to host a lovely chat again, a Zoom meeting, where we're all going to talk about our yarn choices for the MCAL. So I'm excited about that. I think we are already in the chat bit. Let's just chat along and then I show you my planned projects. Irina was very kind to recently gift me one of her patterns. It came out, this is the name, and it's a lace knitting pattern, which is at this stage beyond my skills, but she assured me that this is manageable for me and for beginners, so I have that in my plan list, definitely. So thank you, Irina, for gifting it to me. So what else is in my up my sleeves? Not yet, but planning to stuff it up there. In my Hocus Pocus bag, yes, I love that movie. There are 4 skeins of yarn. 2 of those I've already balled up or wound up by hand, and 2 are still in their skein version. So I've got here from my stash, one is Mrs. Odersocke, Frau Odersocke, Franziska Glatt. I don't think that she is dying anymore. Back then, that's old stash, old stash. I think that cost me around 8 to 9 euros for a skein. It's 100% wool. Is it? Let me just check. Don't want to lie. No, it's 75% wool and 25% polyamide. But it does feel a little bit rougher than the one here from Punk Rock Unicorn Yarns. But you can see that the colors work really well together. This colorway is called Lachs, which is German for salmon. And this colorway is called Neo Peach. I suppose Neon Peach. There's an N missing, unless it really is called Neo or Nia Peach. This is 85% on glasses, 85% merino and 15% nylon. And this is from Punk Rock Unicorn. It has a bit of a halo. I don't know. I think you can see that. It's really beautiful, soft yarn on their sole base. And yes, you've guessed right. I already got my MCAL set together with yarn from Das Mondschaf, but this is my second choice. And no, I'm not going to make a second one in knitting, but I thought that I am going to try to reproduce the design, however it may look like, in crochet. I've got another ball of Punk Rock Unicorn yarn, which is not exactly the same, but very similar in color. This one has speckles, and it didn't say what it's called, but it's beautiful. So these 2 from Punk Rock Unicorn yarn, and two of those were in my stash. Now the challenge will be to make a full shawl with these 4 skeins in crochet. I know I can do it. Everyone always says that crochet eats up so much more yarn. That highly depends on the stitches you're using. So I have to wait until I can see what Stephen came up to. And no, I'm not going to do a case of plagiarism, or what's it called, like a copycat. I'm not stealing his design. I'm just doing something similar looking, but crochet. And this is my yarn for it. All stash, which I should do more often. I have so many beautiful skeins in my stash. So that's one plan. Then I've got I've still got plans to make the snow flower. I'm so bad with names. Sorry, I have to put it up here because my brain isn't working. in the Fleece and Harmony podcast, they are mentioning a knit-along run by Rowan Connect. They are giving out a free pattern for a colorwork tube shawl. For me, I never done colorwork in knitting. So what would be good for me as a beginner would be that it's all worked in the round. I don't have to hide my floats because it's a tube. And yeah, I might try that. I went into Stash again, and I know that for knitting I'm supposed to use less. So what I found here are some Zauberball, Zauberball, as they actually are called, from Shoppe. I've got this color here, which is really a thumbnail. It has a dark teal and a rust color changing yarn. And then I've also got this yarn, which is from a leftover bit from John Armin Textiles. And then I've got this yarn from Die Wollwichtel, also this dark teal color. And I thought that I could easily, you know, the shawl design is in sections, so you are changing your main color and your background color. So together with these colors here, I thought I could use up some of my Drops Sky to go with it. That's my plan, at least. These are all leftover yarns. Well, no, they're not leftovers. They are from my stash as well. Finally starting with colorwork knitting. Yeah, so let's see if I will ever get to it, because this is all like the anticipation for the Westknit shawl design dropping. So while I was rummaging through my stash, I also came across this yarn, and I thought, wouldn't that be nice for making a colorwork hat? Now this is like a malt yarn. And then I've got a beautiful merino singulo from Tamivi Colors in this beautiful color. So I might do a hat in colorwork in knitting. I'm ahead of myself, you see. I haven't even tried one project in colorwork knitting, but I'm already planning the next one. So this might be, you know, the new... the cat is meowing outside. Let's ignore him for a moment. So Caitlin Hunter, who's Boyland Knitworks, she has published a new jumper design, sweater design, and if you are not up to making the sweater, then you can get the same design as a hat colorwork design. So I'm thinking about that. Maybe. This is this is in my Christmas project bag. So to give you an idea when I intend to start with this project. Now this is everything about crochet and knitting I can talk about. You might have noticed this one here in the background. So let's move on to incoming. I've got a couple of incoming things. Let's start right away with this one here. That's a jacket with a lace blouse and a taffeta bronze blouse with lovely mother of pearl buttons, and it might look like 3 layers, but it's actually only one top. It's a costume from victorianchoice.com. They've got lovely dresses, not just Victorian, but yeah, quality-wise, it's a great fit. It comes with a bottle green Victorian dress with a train, and yeah, it's a great fit, but it's not 100% historically accurate. Obviously, it is a costume, but it looks lovely and it's a great fit. The jacket could be a little bit tighter around my waist, especially because I'm going to wear a corset with it or underneath it. So I might have to pinch in the seams here at my waist. If I can find out how, maybe I need some help with that. The skirt came with one button to close at the back, like this button here, and turns out that the button broke right away because it's made of plastic. So lucky me, I've got a huge collection of really sturdy metal buttons, and I just sewed on a different button. But yeah, this comes when the cheaper price really shows, when you get to see the quality of the fabrics and the button. But as a costume, if you don't want to wear it like everyday wear, I mean, I can't do that anyway, but as a costume, it's absolutely fine. It's called victorianchoice.com. But if you do want a super duper, really wonderfully handmade garment, Stitching Addiction, go to her channel, her website, her blog. Tiffany is the best of everyone. Then, inspired by Hannah from the Cozy Cottage Crochet, I always wanted to have a really huge mug which I can put both hands around and which is filled with half a liter of tea at least. And as you can see, I've got mine. I looked at the channel, the Etsy shop where her friend sells her pottery, but getting it from the US is kind of wasteful and yeah, doesn't make sense. So I looked at potters here in Germany, and I've got myself a lovely mug. It's handmade, hand thrown, and I'm only slightly bothered that this is not a perfect circle, not a perfect round. It's like a bit squashed here, and it makes me want to make this round. I don't know what's up with me, but I've been using this all the time, and I can't wait to make my breakfast tea in a moment with this. This is from Antje Ehemann, and that's her website. That's her Etsy shop. So that's one incoming thing. She gifted me a little button made out of clay, and it's this one here, and I don't think that you can see it, but there is a little robin bird on the button. So that's something nice. I don't know where I will use it, but thank you for that. And well, the biggest thing was the costume which came in, and I hadn't been thinking this through, because if you are wearing a skirt with a train, you always have to lift up the train if you want to move. So then I thought, how did the Victorians do that? And the Victorians actually had skirt lifters. And while they had all kinds of different skirt lifter designs, some were even came with a patent. They look like a sugar tong, a pair of sugar tongs, and they have designs like in hands or flowers or a butterfly or something, and they are padded, and then you can put it and fix it on your train, and you can either hold it on a string attached to that skirt lifter, or you can hook it into your Victorian belt. So something like that. I was looking for it. I first looked at antiques, but they are really pricey, and we're just talking about a costume here. So then I thought, okay, I could do like a chatelaine skirt hook, and then I can attach like a key fob, and then I can attach the skirt train to the key fob. Then I went shopping last weekend together with my aunt, and I came across this in a shop. This is an embroidered key fob, so I thought, perfect. It was reduced to half a price, and I got it. And then I thought I might find some kind of hook to attach to the other side, and then I could put the skirt train through here, and this is then attached to a belt on my dress, maybe. And then I saw that Helena Blauerose, she is also making historical garments and selling them on Etsy, and she's a German maker. She is actually selling skirt lifters, so I bought one of hers. It looks like that. It's also embroidered. She's doing these embroideries with her embroidery machine. I think it's beautiful. It comes with the same hook like this one here, but she has two attached to it. So obviously that makes it possible to fix the train in it, as opposed to only one. And then here on the top is a little hook, a clasp, which you can hook into your belt. So there you go. I'm prepared. Also, this is much longer, which makes more sense than this one here. And that's everything for me for today. I am yearning for a cup of tea. I'm yearning for blowing my nose. Sorry, too many details here. And I'm looking forward to lunch. I'm invited to lunch. Have I told you that before? It's sauerbraten and dumplings and gravy sauce, and I hope that I will be able to taste something. Actually, I don't feel too bad. It's just a little bit pressure on my ears and a little bit of whatever. We're going to fight this. And I'm definitely going to crochet more on my lovely crochet blanket. By the way, the only bad thing about these intricate blanket things is all the ends. Da, da, da. So I wish you a very wonderful, lovely rest of the weekend. Enjoy your cozy time enjoy your favorite movies, enjoy your favorite teas and coffees. Keep safe, keep crafting, and I will see you soon again. Bye!